Was recording school even worth it? Welcome back, home studio professionals. In this video, I want to cover a topic that comes up fairly often with my clients in the studio and even some of my students in my course. So I used to talk a lot of trash about my degree because looking back, we didn't get a lot of recording time for recording majors. There was a lot of extra stuff like learning about music history and Gregorian chant from the 900s, and I could go on. And in the last couple of years that I was there, we only got an hour or two of recording per week as recording majors. That said, I learned some really important skills there, and I want to highlight those in this video today. So let's get right into it. Number one is music theory. When I was in high school, I taught myself guitar, I was in a band, and I really thought I understood harmonies and song structure. Learning real music theory changed everything. From writing instrumental parts in my new bands, producing synth passages and transitions for my artists, and most importantly, helping bands write vocal harmonies, this skill is a must-have if you want to become a serious producer. Luckily, you don't have to go to college for this anymore because my good friend Zach Evans has an entire music theory course. You can check that out in the link down below. Moving on to number two, we've got ARL Skills. Yes, there were plenty of jokes made in college about this, so first, let's just get the definition out of the way. ARL Skills is all about being able to hear the notes happening within music. Hearing the chord changes, hearing the chord structure, and even being able to sing the notes within each chord. Since we were learning all of this music theory, it only made sense to train our ears to hear it within music. I use ARL Skills every day in the studio. I've trained my ears for years to hear if a guitar is slightly out of tune, to be able to easily fix drum rhythms, and even make sure that melodies and harmonies are in key with the music. This is one skill that can easily put you above other producers, and it's a really good way to impress clients because they want to come back to someone whose ears they can trust. So number three on this list is signal flow. Signal flow is where the physical sound is going from when it hits the mic all the way to the final fader in mixing. Whether you're going to work in a studio or start your own, it is so crucial to understand this. In school, we started with analog recording. That meant a big Sony mixer with a built-in patch bay and racks of gear. So we had to understand how to patch everything in from each channel of the board. Now, a simple version of signal flow in today's world would be something like you record a sound with your mic, it plugs into your interface, and it goes into the channel strip in your recording software. A more realistic version for a pro studio would be a microphone, plugging into a preamp, patching in a hardware compressor, patching it to a channel on the converter, and then you have EQ, compression, and other effects within your DAW. Knowing good signal flow is also understanding why you would want a compressor before or after an EQ and where you put your de-esser in the signal chain. Knowing how and why you would do these things can really help take your productions to the next level. Number four, we have song arrangement. The song arrangement is how a song is built, what happens in the beginning versus the verses versus the chorus. I'm not talking about notes, but I'm talking about the instrumentation and the different layers that are added to the song to make it move. As a general rule, I like to make my productions build and get more exciting. So choruses would have a few more layers of vocals or guitars or something, and verses would lose a few layers to make them more open and sparse. Bridges will sometimes have a vocal double or some guitar octave harmonies, just something to change it up and make it feel like a different part of the song. The worst thing for my productions would be if they were just a brick and nothing changed throughout the entire song. That'd be so boring, no one would listen to it after the first 15 seconds. As an experiment, listen to your top 3 songs and just make notes of what's happening in the arrangement. I'm not talking mix notes or what notes they're playing or what effects they're using, just what layers get added and taken away for different parts of the song. And physically write down all of the changes happening within the song. And if you have a song in mind that you think has the best arrangement, go ahead and let us know in the comments section down below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Doing this one exercise with song arrangement really changed my outlook on production and how you can get it right just in the tracking phase. You don't have to worry about building the song in the mix with tons of automation and trying to make it something it's not. If you do it right in the tracking phase, you have all these layers and the arrangement already set. And number 5, we've got vocal tracking. I say this all the time. Vocals are the most important part of your song. That's why I put together a free vocal tracking cheat sheet that you can get in the link down below. We covered so much in school, like the basics of testing different microphones, to coaching the vocalist into a great performance, which actually can be kind of difficult, and even writing and getting the vocalist to perform interesting layers. I did come up with a ton of this on my own, and I give away a lot of those secrets in that vocal tracking cheat sheet, but so much of it was inspired by my professor. So in the end, was my audio degree worth it? In school, I learned a lot of the basic stuff, but I did learn more of the studio side doing it on my own. That said, I made so many great friendships and important relationships while I was in school that I wouldn't trade for anything. But I want to know what you think. Did I waste tons of money going to school for recording? Did you waste tons of money going to school for recording? Let me know down below, and I'll catch you in the next video.